Fox News.
For more on all of this, we're joined by our KTVU political analyst, Brian Sobel. Brian, what's your take on what President Trump said about Jeff Sessions?
Well, it's such a curious thing, Frank. This is somebody who was with Trump very early on, and then he goes through this blistering campaign, sticking right with Trump, and for that he gets thrown under the bus. I find it.
Why would President Trump go public with that? What would be the point?
I have no idea, and it just, if you're a cabinet member, you don't know whether you're one decision or one phone call away from being on the outs with the president. A lot of people have internal thoughts, we all do, but a lot of times I look at this president and he has no governor, and because he has no governor, he says something that maybe he was thinking about, but in this case, Jeff Sessions decided that he could not be a party to the Russian investigation and did the right thing. He said, hey, I have to recuse myself. Instead of honoring that, the president's very upset with him.
What about what some people are calling a veiled threat on Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller, saying essentially it's a red line if you cross that looking at my finances? What do you think about that? Well,
again, he is somebody who is used to getting what he wants, and he hasn't figured out in politics that it's different than business. It's a collaboration business, and you've got, in this case, you've got to let the special counsel do what he needs to do. Can he fire him? Yes, he can, but we've seen in American history firing a special prosecutor or counsel doesn't go down well.
Well, we saw what happened with Richard Nixon.
Exactly.
Yes. Could you ever see any circumstance where Donald Trump does fire Robert Mueller?
Yes. I mean, I think he could.
And what would the ramifications be?
Well, the two questions. I think first, yes, I could see that, and his explanation would be he's far afield of his mission. The ramifications would be, just an uproar, and of course we'd have to see how that would play out, whether he'd hire somebody else or who knows. It could have a snowball effect.
On the flip side, you do have to look back at what happened with the prosecution, the special prosecutor looking into President Clinton, Kenneth Starr. It started with the whole Whitewater investigation, and pretty soon it had morphed into Monica Lewinsky. Is that something that you think President Trump could be concerned about?
Oh, absolutely.
Where is this going to go?
Absolutely. What happens here is mission creep. They start with one mission, and then all of a sudden it starts branching out. And now there is this possibility that they're looking into his finances. Beyond Russia. I mean, just his whole portfolio and how he made his money, that's far afield.
I could see, honestly, how I would be concerned about that.
Absolutely, and I think the president has a right to say, hey, investigate what you need to investigate, but when you start down a lot of other paths, that's not really relevant.
What are we to make of this, that 6 months into the presidency, we already have a special prosecutor appointed? Where is this going to go?
We don't know. I think because these investigations take a very long time, this may just be something that bogs down this administration for the next couple of years, and then by which time we are into the next presidential cycle.
Let's talk about Senator John McCain for a second. Just really sad news, as a very rare form of cancer that's very aggressive. What will that mean for the vote on health care?
Well, it means one less positive vote for the Republicans. That's just a numbers thing. And to your point, John McCain, whom I've met several times over the years, I've testified before one of his committees. He is a gentleman through and through. He's a maverick. He does what he thinks he needs to do, and he gets along with people on both sides of the aisle. If he cannot continue in his duties, he's going to be greatly missed in Washington, D.C., and I know everybody's prayers are with him. This is the struggle of his life.
If he does say that I am going to leave the Senate, there is a Republican governor in Arizona, presumably would obviously appoint a Republican to replace him.
Yes.
So it would kind of be a wash, probably?
It'd be a wash in terms of the party registration, but, maybe the governor has somebody in mind who may think a little differently than John McCain, who knows. At the end of the day, when a longtime senator leaves, those seats are usually in play, and a lot of people are interested in them. Arizona's been changing a little bit. We'll see what happens there.
All right, much more to talk about, including Jared Kushner and Donald Trump Jr. being called to testify. We'll talk to you about that coming up on the 5 o'clock
Absolutely.
broadcast. Brian, thank you.